All right, Alex Horton, you just won the PBA Tournament of Champions for your first career PBA Tour title. Describe in your own words what you just accomplished today.
It's amazing. This is the pinnacle of bowling right here. It doesn't get any better than this. To win a PBA title is one thing, to win a major is another thing, and to win the Tournament of Champions. Not only that, for my first title. It's truly amazing. No words can describe my feeling right now. I'm just feeling great. Truly blessed to be able to be in this situation.
I was talking to the commissioner a few minutes ago, and he said, a lot of people say when you win something like this, it takes some time to sink in, and usually that's bullshit. But this time it feels real. Has it even begun to set in for you at all what you just did today?
Slowly, but not fully, honestly. Obviously, sitting with the trophy, having the trophy in my hands, that's one thing. It feels great. But I think, honestly, leaving the bowling center, getting out of here, that's when it truly sit in, when I'm just like, yeah, wow, I'm a champion.
Yeah, I could tell you walked in the paddock here and you started to let out a little bit of emotion. But
Yeah.
where does this stoicism come from? I mean, you're 22 years old. You just won the TOC, and you're acting like calm as can be. Where does this poise come from?
Truly a lot of hard work and dedication. I believe that I belong out here. And it's one of those situations where it feels like, hey, this opportunity was bound to happen, and I got my opportunity, and I took full-fledged advantage of it. So,
First time under the lights as a singles player. How comfortable were you? How long did it take you to get acclimated?
yeah. My focus was just to get two good shots to start the match. That was my focus, was to throw two good shots, get the feel of it, hit what I'm looking at, hit my target, obviously, and then go from there. And I think once I got those two shots under me, it became all about execution, and everything else was just like regular bowling.
You had two Hall of Famers sitting in the crowd on either side of your father tonight. You and Parker Bowen obviously go way back, and then Wes Malott also drove up here. What does it mean to have that kind of support come out from halfway across the country to watch you today?
Yeah, like I said before, I'm best friends with Parker's kids. Parker took me under his wing. He basically treats me as one of his own kids. So it's amazing to honestly have him come out here and experience this with me, be here for my first title. It's something that I'm going to cherish forever. And Wes, in terms of recent years, we've grown really close as well. And for him to travel and watch this as well, it's amazing.
Yeah, they were sitting on either side of your dad, and you guys had a pretty special hug there at the end.
Yeah.
Just describe that moment.
Yeah. Once again, I mean, he had sacrificed so much for this opportunity for me to be able to bowl. And right there, all of it pays off right there. Right in that hug, that 10th frame, everything right there, it shows that, hey, we did it. Yep.
It's a long week for you in a lot of ways. Is Alex having to come through the PTEQ in order to get into the field? I mean, were you worn down on it all, or is this just this part and parcel of what you got to do in order to get here?
Yeah, honestly, not too much like wear and tear. It was kind of like, for me, I was kind of playing on house money because, my simple goal of making it out of the PTQ was, I blew past that. So everything after that was just gaining experience and truly enjoying the moment. And that's one of those things when you're playing on house money, it can be truly dangerous. And, I took full advantage of it the whole way. So.
It definitely was playing with house money. Guys you were going up against and have been up there. Talk to me about what happened when you saw that open frame from aim the fourth. Was that the moment where you really locked in and said, okay, I can actually win this?
Not quite, because it's one of those things where you never want to get ahead of yourself. I haven't been in this situation before, so you don't want to start counting your cards and thinking that, hey, you've got the title when you don't have it. And ultimately, I did open later in the game, so it made things a little complicated. But I was just like, hey, keep executing good shots, and it's going to pay off in the end. So.
Was there any panic when you missed that spare?
No, there really wasn't any panic because I was looking at the score. I mean, obviously, deep down there was like, that sucks. But it's one of those things when I looked at the scoreboard, I was like, hey, I still control my own fate. And, I just wanted to have a situation where stepping up into the 10th, I could either lock my opponent out or have a chance. And that's all I was asking for. And I knew that even with the missed spare, I still had a chance to do that. So.
Do you like having the ball in your hands when the game is on the line?
Always. That's the best thing that you can have as a bowler, to be able to shut out your opponent. So.
You'd faced Ace Alex during match play. I mean, and did you think that the match was going to go the way it did?
You're talking about facing Zach, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Not really. It was one of those things. Well, I saw him throwing urethane, and I was also throwing urethane, so I thought that was a good play on his part for sure. The lanes were kind of tricky, and I think that with him playing urethane, it kind of, kept the game simple for both him and I. And so from that aspect, I think that the lanes definitely played a little bit different than what I expected. But you come to expect the unexpected at this point, so you just go out there and do your best.
You said your urethane looked got worse as the week went on. How were you able to capture a good urethane look on the TV?
Yeah, so I feel like all week I could honestly kind of throw urethane a little bit hard, give it a little bit of loft over the front part of the lane. And on the TV show, this was exactly the opposite. I had to stay slow, but make sure I did loft it to be able to give the ball time to slow down and read the lanes. So, you know, from that aspect, it definitely played different on the TV show than it did all week. But, you know, I was fortunate to have urethane be close to be able to throw it, and it worked out. So.
There's 60 years of history dating back from the PBA Tour on that pair of lanes. For Don John shot 299, where Belmo's won 2 majors. What does it mean to etch your name as part of the historic legacy that is lanes 27, 28 at Riviera?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, my story is, 27, 28 is so iconic, and my story can just be etched into 27, 28. You know, this kid who's a rookie came through PTQs and, wins his first title. So I want that to be something that people can also remember when they look at 27, 28.
Yeah, you're the 4th rookie to win the season. 3 was already the record. Now we have a 4th in just 10 weeks. You mentioned earlier in the week that Brandon Bonta winning the first tournament kind of inspired you to come out here. Now you're going to inspire, I think, a whole nother crop of people to come out here yourself. What is it about this rookie class that makes it so special? Yeah,
as I had mentioned before to Kyle actually in the post-game interview, us rookies, we've bowled a lot. We eat, sleep, and breathe bowling. So nowadays it really comes down to, truthfully, how can you handle the nerves in this situation? Because obviously being out on tour is a little bit different. So, the shapes and stuff are maybe a little bit different, but that's something that you can ultimately always figure out. But in terms of why we're so good and I feel like we're competing a lot out here is because, we have the confidence that we belong out here, and it truly makes a difference.
Does that mean you've got plans to be there for all the events coming up with the World Series?
Yes, sir. I will be there, and thankfully I will not have to bowl the PTQ either, so that's amazing. Yeah. Yep.
Historically, you are only the 4th black player, to win a PBA Tour title. Has the historical significance hit you yet, or have you realized what you've done?
Yeah, I actually saw them playing a clip a little bit earlier, I think, while I was bowling, and it was like, oh, you have an opportunity to etch your name in history for the people of color in this community bowling, and it was something that I didn't really think about truthfully until you win and you realize, hey, this is just bigger than just yourself, that you this win right here. So this is amazing.
Do you think your win can inspire other people of color to take up bowling and pursue it as a profession or pursue it as competition?
Yeah, definitely. There's not a lot of people of color that bowl, so it would be nice to see if, hey, a young black man going out to win a title, that's amazing, and to potentially have other people see that and want to come out and bowl, that would be amazing.
George Brandon won the TOC on those lanes, defeating Parker Bone.
Yes, sir.
In 1993. I don't think I've heard of a story more full circle than that right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
What are you going to do with the 100,000?
What am I going to do with 100,000? The first thing I'm going to do is buy myself some nice new shoes. I'm going to get a nice pair of shoes. But, I mean, other than that, honestly, I probably won't do anything too crazy. It'll probably just be investing it, which is kind of bland and boring, but that's my plans.
And keep bowling.
Yeah.
You're backing yourself?
Yeah, all myself. Yes, sir.
Alex, the last few weeks here have really kind of flown by. You guys made a little bit of running doubles. We're sitting here. You got cameras all over you, mics everywhere. You were just signing autographs to the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Has it begun to process that your life is not going to be the same as it was?
No, it has not fully set in yet. I think it'll set in when you go to different stops and people might ask to take pictures and sign autographs and stuff. That's when it'll realize. But for me, I'm the same old person. I just want to be personable with people. I want people to enjoy their time with me. Don't put me on a pedestal. I'm just like any other person. So from that aspect, I feel like, not much has truly changed yet, and I haven't felt it. So.
There were a lot of throwback photos on social media in the last few days. You were in a Bowler X commercial 10 years ago as this little kid saying that, bowling is, I disagree that bowling is dying. How cool is it to bring things full circle here and be at now 22 a major champion? Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Lee and Chris Desant, owners of Bowler X, for believing me and giving me that opportunity to be able to be in a commercial like that. And, they saw something in me that I truly didn't see in myself. And now, honestly, like you had said, it's a full circle moment to win my first title. And you can look back at that and say, hey, there were people that believed in you day one. And you might not have seen it in yourself, but other people definitely saw it. So it's amazing. All right, Alex Horton, PBA Tournament of Champions winner.
Let's go. Thank you, guys.